All right, let's dive into this one. The Alchemist by Paulo Coelho.
Oh, yeah, this is a good one.
It is, and we've got excerpts straight from the book itself.
That's right.
Looks like our listeners are really interested in those big themes. Self-discovery, pursuing dreams, the whole spiritual journey thing.
Yeah.
Buckle up because this one's going to hit different, and we're both excited to unpack it.
It really does.
Yeah.
And starting with that prologue, I mean, Coelho kicks things off with The Alchemist reading about Narcissus. At first you might think, oh, it's just a classic myth.
Right, the vanity.
But it's so much more than that. It sets the framework not just for the whole book, but for this deep dive itself.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah.
Okay, so at first glance, it's that classic tale, right?
Right.
Narcissus falls in love with his reflection, all that. But then Coelho throws in this curveball.
Exactly. It's the lake that weeps for Narcissus.
Whoa.
Not because it misses him, but because it saw its own beauty reflected in his eyes. Whoa. Right. It's not just surface level anymore. It's about finding ourselves through the world around us. Like, meaning is reflected back to us in these unexpected ways.
I love that. Okay, so that sets the stage. Now we meet our main guy, Santiago.
Santiago.
The shepherd. And he keeps having this super vivid dream about treasure at the pyramids in Egypt.
Yes.
But what I find interesting is he's not some, miserable shepherd, right?
Right.
Desperate to escape his life. He loves his sheep. He loves his simple life.
That's so relatable, though.
So relatable.
Because it's that conflict. So many of us feel, the comfort of the known, but then there's that pull towards the unknown. Something bigger, maybe calling to us.
Right.
It's like Santiago's got this internal tug-of-war going on.
Absolutely. And then enters the old woman.
Oh.
This dream interpreter, right?
And I gotta say, demanding 1/10 of the treasure up front, that's some serious business savvy right there.
Smart lady. Smart lady. But, her point is, these recurring dreams, they're not random.
No.
They're omens. They're guiding Santiago towards his personal legend.
Yeah, and this is where it starts to feel really powerful.
Yes.
Like this idea is reaching out from the book to you, the listener.
Right, to you.
This personal legend, it's that unique purpose you have, the thing you were born to do.
Yeah.
And
then, bam, we meet Melchizedek, the king of Salem.
Oh, yeah.
This guy just drops this truth bomb. When you want something, all the universe conspires in helping you to achieve it.
Ooh, chills.
Right. Have you ever felt that in your own life?
Oh, yeah.
Like when you're really aligned with your purpose and things just start clicking?
It's like magic.
It's magical.
But of course, it's never a straight shot, is it?
Never.
Santiago, he gets the Tangier.
Full of hope.
Full of excitement.
Ready to go.
And bam, he's robbed.
Everything's gone.
Talk about a test of faith, right?
You'd think he'd just pack it in. Head back to his sheep.
Right, back home.
But he doesn't.
He doesn't. And that's the turning point.
It is.
He chooses not to wallow. He takes a job with this crystal merchant. Might seem like a detour, but it's huge for his development.
So it's not just about learning the crystal trade, right? There's something deeper here.
Oh, absolutely. Look at the crystal merchant.
Yeah.
Dreams of going to Mecca. The ultimate pilgrimage. But he's paralyzed.
Right.
By fear.
By fear of the unknown. Of disrupting his routine.
Exactly. And it's like a mirror.
Oh, yeah.
Reflecting how we often let fear hold us back.
Right.
From our own dreams.
And then there's that display case Santiago builds. I mean, sure, it helps the shop, but it's more about him taking initiative.
So true.
Proving he can adapt, grow beyond his comfort zone.
He's not just a shepherd anymore.
Right. And while he's working there, something else starts to happen.
What's that?
He starts tuning into this thing Coelho calls the language of the world.
Ooh.
Okay, now this is where it gets really interesting. What is this language of the world? Is it like, hearing voices in the desert wind?
Not quite. Remember that idea from the Narcissus story?
Yeah.
Deeper meaning beneath the surface? The language of the world is like that.
Okay.
It's about recognizing the signs, the omens, like they're always there if you know how to listen.
So it's less about literal words and more about paying attention to those subtle cues from the universe.
Exactly. And we see this throughout the book. The flight of the hawks, Santiago observes. The way the desert itself seems to speak to him. These are all expressions of this language. It's about trusting your intuition, recognizing the patterns, the synchronicities that guide us toward our personal legend.
So he's developing like a sixth sense, a way of understanding the world beyond logic and reason. And this new awareness is going to be put to the test. big time.
Oh, yeah, because next we meet Fatima,
Oh, Fatima.
a woman of the desert.
Woman of the desert.
Santiago falls head over heels.
Oh, it's that classic dilemma, right? Love or the personal legend, which path to choose?
Right. And Fatima, wise soul that she is, encourages him to follow his dream, knowing that true love shouldn't hold you back. It should empower you, even if it means letting go for a while.
That's powerful.
It is. And just when Santiago's wrestling with this, a crucial figure enters the scene. The alchemist.
The alchemist.
Finally.
Here we go.
Here we go.
And he makes quite an entrance, this alchemist, shrouded in mystery. He's not just some wise old sage, though.
Huh.
Puts Santiago through these, intense tests of courage, like that encounter with the horsemen,
Oh, yeah.
the
right.
tribal wars at the oasis, like boot camp for the soul.
Yeah, they really are. It's all designed to push Santiago to his limits.
Right.
Face his fears and prove his commitment, that he'll do whatever it takes to fulfill his personal legend.
And during this desert journey with the alchemist, they run into another seeker,
Yeah.
the Englishman. He's also on this quest for his personal legend. But he's going about it so differently.
Very differently.
Yeah.
The Englishman represents that intellectual path,
Yeah.
the knowledge-driven one.
Right.
He's all about the books,
Mm.
trying to figure it all out with his mind. But the alchemist,
Yeah.
he's all about the heart, tapping into what he calls the soul of the world.
Okay, so it's not just about book smarts. It's about connecting to something deeper.
Right.
But what is the soul of the world?
Yeah, it's a big one.
We've gotten hints,
Right.
but not a full explanation.
Well, it ties back to the language of the world, right?
Okay.
The soul of the world is that universal force. It's that interconnected energy flowing through everything.
Mm.
It's what connects us all.
Wow.
It breathes life into every rock, every tree, every living being.
So, this invisible web,
Yeah.
uniting all of creation. And by tapping into it, we can understand ourselves and our place in it all better.
Exactly. And the alchemist guides Santiago to recognize this, to feel it pulsing through the desert, the wind, even his own veins. It's about understanding we're not separate, isolated.
Right.
We're part of something much bigger.
That's powerful. It reminds me of that line from the book. Everything that happens once can never happen again, but everything that happens twice will surely happen a third time.
Oh, yeah. I love that one.
It's like there's this pattern, this rhythm to the universe, and once you recognize it, you can flow with it.
Absolutely. And it's in surrendering to that flow, to the soul of the world, that the real magic happens.
And then the climax,
Yeah.
Santiago finally arrives at the pyramids. But his big discovery,
Yeah.
the treasure he's been searching for,
Right.
it's not what he expected at all.
It's not. I mean, he spends years
Right,
chasing this literal treasure, buried at the pyramids.
right.
But when he gets there, guided by the alchemist, it's something much more profound.
It's not gold or jewels, is it?
Bro.
I know the deeper lesson is the journey, but what does he actually find?
Well, I don't want to spoil it completely, but it's about realizing that what we seek,
Yeah.
it's often right in front of us.
Hmm.
The real treasure was the growth, the transformation, the self-discovery along the way.
It's like that saying, the journey is the destination.
Exactly.
And I think that resonates with so many people, especially today. We're so focused on the goals, the milestones, we forget to just appreciate the process.
Yeah, totally. And before Santiago heads home, the alchemist shares one last story. A tale about a centurion and his son's legacy.
Okay, why this story at the very end? What's the meaning here?
Well, it brings everything together.
Mm-hmm.
The story shows us that everyone, no matter how small they seem, they play a role in the history of the world.
Mm-hmm.
And we often don't even realize the impact we're having.
Kind of humbling, isn't it? Like, even our smallest actions can create these ripples.
They really can.
We're all connected,
Yeah.
part of something so much bigger.
Exactly. It echoes that idea of the soul of the world. We're all threads in this huge tapestry, weaving a story that spans generations.
Speaking of stories, let's talk about the impact The Alchemist has had. It's touched millions of lives, translated into over 80 languages.
It's incredible.
It's a modern classic, compared to The Little Prince, even.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
And in the foreword, Coelho talks about how the book's success, it wasn't easy. He almost gave up on it because the initial reception was so lukewarm.
It's crazy to think the world almost missed out on this book.
I know.
And I love what he says about never losing faith, because the book held his heart, His soul, it was his personal legend.
It really was.
He was living the message he was writing about. And the result, a book that continues to inspire people everywhere.
Yeah, it's timeless.
Makes you wonder, doesn't it?
Mhm.
What's your personal legend, that thing you've always dreamed of, that whispers to you from, like, deep down inside?
The Alchemist doesn't give us all the answers,
Right.
but it does give us tools, a framework
Right.
to start our own journey. It pushes us to ask the big questions, to listen to those whispers in our hearts, and to trust those signs, those omens along the way.
It's like Coelho is giving us a map, but not of the world. A map of ourselves.
Yeah, exactly. Like, he gives us the compass,
Okay.
the omens, the language of the world, the courage to go for it. But the terrain, the destination, that's all yours to figure out.
So let's get practical for a second. What's one small step you listening right now can take today to move closer to your own personal legend?
Just start paying attention.
Okay.
What lights you up? What makes you lose track of time?
Yeah.
What are those thoughts, those dreams you keep pushing away?
Could be anything, right?
Anything.
Learning a new language.
Yeah.
Finally starting that creative project. Having that tough conversation you've been putting off.
Exactly. It's about taking that first step, however small it seems.
Right.
Trust that the universe will conspire to help you, just like it did for Santiago.
And it's not always going to be easy, is it? Oh, no.
There's going to be challenges, setbacks, doubts.
Of course.
But those are all part of it, part of what makes it meaningful.
They are. Embrace those challenges. They're not stopping you. They're chances to grow, to be resilient, to find strengths you didn't know you had.
And just like Santiago had the alchemist, you've got your own inner wisdom, your intuition, your connection to that soul of the world.
That's right. Trust that voice. It knows the way, even when your mind is full of doubts.
So keep following those omens. Keep listening to your heart. Keep your eyes open for those aha moments. The adventure of your personal legend, it's just beginning.
And hey, we'll be here for your next deep dive, ready to explore whatever treasures you find along the way.